Last Friday, like many of you, I went out and got Metallica's new album, Hardwired to Self-Destruct. And the last track on that album, Spit Out the Bone, has been getting some pretty good reviews from people. I know a lot of my friends really particularly enjoy that track. So I first saw the video when they posted it and thought, yeah, this is a pretty good track, but it immediately sounded familiar to me. I know it was like a brand new track and I'd never heard it before. There's just something about it that seemed familiar. Then, of course, when I went out and bought the album and I listened to it again, it hit me again as being familiar. And then finally at work earlier this week, it hit me why it sounded so familiar. A song that I wrote in late 2011, early 2012 actually has a very similar riff to the very first riff in Spit Out the Bone. And while it's not an exact copy, there's definitely some similarities, so I'll play the Spit Out the Bone track. Here's how I play my version of the riff. In a sec. So like I said, there's some key differences in Metallica's version of it and the one that I wrote. So this is how I'm playing it. Hopefully this is in frame. So yeah, they're pretty similar both rhythmically and melodically, although there obviously is a little bit of variance in there, but still I think it's pretty interesting how similar those two riffs just happen to be. I have a video of me playing this at a recital with my guitar teacher back in like early 2012. I'll put a link to that in the description. It's not the best quality and I've definitely improved as a guitarist since then, but I mean it's there. Just so you can see the song more or less in its entirety with a not as skillfully played version of the solo. The track that I'm using as an audio overlay in this video is actually a recording that I did last year in 2015. And that actually brings me to, one of the main reasons why I wanted to actually make this video in particular. So when I first noticed those similarities, I thought, this will be kind of a cool way to give you guys kind of a heads up and check in with what I've been doing lately, what I'm planning on doing, some of the videos I'm planning on actually coming out with in the coming weeks or months or so, or whenever I actually get off my lazy ass and start doing things on YouTube again. Throughout college, I was putting out videos pretty decently. I'd have some spare time in between homework and classes and sleeping and stuff like that. And I'd work on a video and put it out. I'm still sitting on a huge stockpile of Brother Dean footage from 2014, 2015, and I think I even have some from this year too. I have some Dean footage from the current year, you guys. But something I've always been doing that I haven't really shown on my channel a whole lot is obviously I'm a musician. I had a band for a little bit in high school and I wrote a bunch of songs, and even after the band we never technically broke up, we've just been on hiatus for 5 years. And in the meantime I've been writing music and recording music as well. Pretty much ever since like 2007, 2008, I've been just making these really shitty demos of the songs I'd been working on, and I'd sit there in my room and I'd record them and I'd record them over and over again, try to make them better and better and learn ways I could work on the recording quality, my technique and things like that. And one of the big kind of aspirations I had, one of the things that kind of motivated me through college was this notion that if I go to college, I get a good job and I can start affording equipment and guitars and stuff like that, and really start putting together a decent little home studio. And now that I graduated in 2015 and finally got a job in 2016, I'm starting to actually put together that studio. And while I've had a bunch of pieces coming in here and there over the last year or so, it's finally getting to the point where I can start putting it together. So all of the videos I'm going to be coming out with, like I said, in the next weeks or months or whenever I stop being a lazy fuck, is going to be a lot of kind of home studio build style videos and things like that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little video of just me, my grand realization that somehow I was inspired by Metallica so hard that a riff that I wrote 5 years ago ended up sounding like a riff that they would write in the future in 2016 or whenever they actually wrote the riff, because it took them 8 goddamn years to put out that album. Then hopefully I'll be actually more active on YouTube. Now that, like I said, now that I have a job, I've got some more free time, because I'm not just coming home and doing programming homework all goddamn night anymore. I've been pretty much just coming home and cleaning my goddamn house and sweeping and playing with my dogs and shit. But hopefully I'll be getting back into the swing of things. I started working out again, which was something that I hadn't done for a couple years. Now I'm hoping to add actually practicing guitar and recording music back into my list of shit that I'm actually doing now. So yeah, I hope I'll see you guys soon.